started my career in advertising in South Africa. My role was a strategic planner, and I was responsible for rolling out a lot of the consumer-facing brands in South Africa, and I gained a lot of great experience working with brands through this agency. During this time, it was when social media was really popular for brands. It was just kicking off, so a lot of agencies and small companies needed social media kind of support. So that was kind of my sweet spot, and business was booming and kicking off, and it was at that time where I decided to start looking for my own place. So I found this beautiful 3-bedroom house and decided to pack up. And I remember arriving at the house on the first day, walking into the house and looking at all of my stuff, all my world belongings packed into one tiny storeroom, and thinking, wow, with adulting comes having to really buy adult stuff. So at that point I realized I had to get online and buy a whole bunch of stuff for the house. Naturally, the first thing, because connectivity is like a commodity these days, the first thing I needed to do, and the fact that I had a digital marketing agency, was to get internet connectivity. So just like everyone else, what was the first thing that I did? I went onto Google, and because I already had a few ideas of which brands were already out there, I decided that I would start with those brands. So I went online, I put their names in directly and found a few packages that fit in my budget, and I knew which speeds I needed to run my business, so I found a great package. As I was going then to sign up for that package, I put in my address and I realized that I wasn't able to get this product because it wasn't in coverage. So as irritating as it was, I just went to another brand that I knew did the same process, found a package, found a speed that would suit me, and again, once putting in my address, there was no coverage. So I typed in fiber providers in my area, and the first 5 options that came up were obviously all ads, but I assumed that if they were serving me ads, that they would be available in my location. So I clicked on a brand that I kind of semi had an idea about, went through, found a package, found a speed, and again, they had no coverage. Anyways, after 30 minutes of discovering a few different packages and brands, I got to a short list of about 3 different companies. But then, obviously I didn't really know these brands, so I decided to go a level deeper and look at some of the reviews. And this is when things started really getting kind of suspicious. I looked at a company that had only been in operation for 6 months, but they had thousands of reviews and a 5-star rating. So I started to investigate, what are these comments, what are these reviews? And I noticed that with a lot of these reviews, there were unusual spelling mistakes. A lot of these reviews were made at very specific times in the day. The people that were commenting on these didn't look like they'd ever used that service before, just based on the comments that they'd made. And I remember sitting at the end of this 2-hour process, sitting there going, I'm a pretty savvy online user. I'm looking for internet online, and I'm sitting in a position where it's hard for me to find a service at my location because of coverage. And 2, I can't trust a single review or rating on the internet. So where do I go? What do I actually do now? What are my next steps? I guess the main point was saying, why so many fake reviews? Why are people investing in fake reviews? And then I realized, after doing some research, is that reviews influence $3.8 trillion of e-commerce spend by the end of 2021. So after finding that out, I wanted to understand what portion of that do fake reviews influence. Using official self-reporting figures by some of the world's largest e-commerce sites, it's been reported that fake reviews contribute to about $791 billion in the US, $6.4 billion in Japan, $5 billion in the UK. To give an example, 1 extra star on Yelp can yield 5 to 9% more revenue for that business. But what if we could change all that? What if we could fix the shopping tag on Google to allow people to easily browse through sophisticated or complex product decisions or high-ticket items on Google? And then over and above that, what if all reviews and comments were decentralized, not owned by any particular brand or e-commerce site or product, so that there are no lies and every review is from a real buyer? That is the goal that we want to achieve. We want to fix this reputation issue, which is currently impacting millions of people and brands globally. This is quite a task, we know, but if we can get this right, when we get this right, we will own the most valuable asset on the internet, which is a trusted search engine results page. Many of you might have heard about a company called Honey, which currently has a valuation of $4 billion. They got people to want to search for something, but showed them their version of the reputation and results and got paid for that. So why did investors buy into that? Firstly, because a lot of people are using it. And secondly, they got people to see their own filtered version of the results without using Google's algorithm. But obviously, none of that means anything unless they're getting paid for it. So the key part of that was that every time a customer clicked on a product, Honey would get paid for it. We have similar ambitions, and we're deciding to start our efforts on connectivity. We've taken our software and we've already aggregated South Africa's connectivity coverage across all providers and all networks. This means that anyone in South Africa can drop a location pin and immediately see all the options that are available to them. Our algorithm is working so well that even some of South Africa's largest e-commerce players are using this in order to offer connectivity to their customers because it's much better than using Google. Simultaneously to this, service providers have also reached out to us directly where they're using our software and our algorithm to offer these services to their own customers. So we've got a big B2B offering now rolling out that particular software. Beyond South Africa, we look to aggregate all of the connectivity across the world. We already want to aggregate the whole of Africa's connectivity by the end of 2022. Simultaneously to that, we are creating a community of users who we can verify they've bought our products and invite them into a completely decentralized reviewing system. We're already South Africa's largest and most popular aggregation and comparison tool in the country. Beyond connectivity, we've already realized there are a few verticals with the same buying issue and that Google has not solved. One is solar, two are voice products, and three is home security, specifically within an African context. At the end of the day, it all comes down to what sits between the search and the purchase, and we've figured out how to hijack that from Google. We want you to be a part of this vision of creating a global comparison engine that is powered by a completely decentralized ratings and reviews community. Honey is now worth $4 billion and did this successfully for low-ticket e-commerce items in the USA and Canada. But starting in Africa, we want to do this for high-ticket items globally.